Are you looking for the best compact cameras? In this video we will look at some of the best compact cameras. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Fujifilm X100 VI. The long-awaited Fujifilm X100 VI is the best compact camera we've tested. This isn't the most portable fixed-lens camera, but it makes up for that by being one of the most full-featured on the market. With a high-resolution APS-C sensor and a bright 35mm equivalent f/2 lens, this premium model captures excellent image quality with plenty of detail and dynamic range. It's also one of the few compact cameras that feature in-body image stabilization (IBIS) to get steadier handheld shots. Another standout feature is its hybrid viewfinder, which lets you toggle between an optical rangefinder and an electronic viewfinder. That said, the X100 VI doesn't come cheap, and even if it's within your budget, it's so in demand that stock is hard to come by. If you don't want to wait on a back-ordered product or you're simply looking for something cheaper, read on to learn more about some of the other best compact digital cameras that we've tested. Number 2. RICOH GR3. The RICOH GR3 is the most pocketable camera on this list and the only option on our list aside from the Fujifilm X100 VI that features a larger APS-C sensor. That larger sensor provides excellent image quality, more dynamic range, and generally better noise handling in low light than most compact cameras, although it's a lower resolution sensor than the one on the Fujifilm. The GR3 also has a much more minimalist design, which makes it less stylish but better suited for discreet street photos. In general, the camera doesn't have many frills, no viewfinder or 4K video capability, and a fixed screen that limits your shooting angles. Whereas the X100 VI has a 35mm equivalent focal length, the RICOH's built-in lens has a slightly wider 28mm equivalent focal length and an f/2.8 aperture, giving you a tad less leeway in low light. If you prefer a tighter field of view, opt for the RICOH GR-II9. While it's a little pricier, its lens has a 40mm equivalent focal length that offers a more standard field of view. There are also HDF variants of both models, which trade the built-in ND filter for a highlight diffusion filter that creates soft, dreamy highlights. Ultimately, if you want images of the same caliber as the Fuji X100 VI but prefer a more minimalist camera that'll actually fit into your pocket, you can't go wrong with the GR3 or the GR-II9. Number 3. Sony RX100 VII. If you're looking for something with some zoom range, the Sony RX100 VII is the best compact digital camera we've tested with a zoom lens. The tried-and-true formula of the RX100 series consists of a highly portable design, a relatively wide zoom range, and more extra features than you can shake a stick at. Unlike your average compact camera, the RX100 VII uses a larger 1-inch type sensor, so image quality is great for its class, though not quite as impressive as the cameras mentioned above. The sensor's stacked design also allows for quick 20 frames per second burst shooting while reducing rolling shutter distortion. Although the RX100 VII doesn't have the longest zoom range, its 24 to 200mm full-frame equivalent lens has enough range to give you some flexibility with framing. The camera is also packed with thoughtful design touches, like a small pop-up viewfinder and a pop-up flash, all while easily fitting into a coat pocket or small bag. That portability does come at the cost of a short battery life, but most compact cameras struggle in that arena, so it comes with the territory. If you want to save some money, you can still find older models in the RX100 series on the used market for less. Number 4. Sony ZV-1. Compact cameras can be a good fit for vlogging thanks to their ease of use and portability, and the Sony ZV-1 is among the best we've tested for vloggers. In fact, it's the only option here with a fully articulated screen fit for self-recording. It even has a specialized product showcase mode for product and beauty vloggers, prioritizing focus on any objects held up in the frame. Its 1-inch sensor captures good video quality, too, with excellent autofocus and a fair selection of frame rates, including a high-speed recording mode in 1080p. It's worth mentioning that the Sony ZV-1 II has since replaced the original ZV-1. The ZV-1 II uses a wider angle lens with a wider field of view, FOV, that, on its face, is better suited to handheld vlogging. However, the new model no longer features optical stabilization, and its digital stabilization feature crops in some of that wider FOV. For that reason, the original ZV-1 is still our top pick, especially since it costs less. 20.1 MP stacked back illuminated 1-inch exmor RS CMOS sensor with drum. Large aperture 24-70mm 1f 1.8-2.8 Zeiss Variosonor T-lens, Bluetooth, yes, Bluetooth standard ver 4.1, 2.4 GHz band. Operating temperature 0 degrees Celsius, plus 40 degrees Celsius / 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 5. Canon PowerShot SX740. Once you dip into budget territory, worthwhile options are fewer and farther between, but the Canon PowerShot SX740 is a solid choice that won't cost you too much. Of course, if you really want to save money, the best option is to simply stick with your smartphone camera, which is already waiting for you in your back pocket. But if you're craving the feel of a camera in your hands or you need the zoom range that a point-and-shoot can provide, the SX740 is a good choice at a relatively low price point. Though it has a smaller sensor than our previous picks, its built-in lens can extend to a max full-frame equivalent focal length of 960mm, giving you an incredibly wide zoom range to shoot everything from landscape shots to close-ups of faraway subjects. Its image quality is nothing to write home about, but it's more than suitable for casual or family photography, and the camera's tilt-up screen makes it easy to take selfies or shoot at waist level. Ultimately, this point-and-shoot will serve you well if you need something very compact with a ton of zoom at a reasonable price.